What's up guys, Andrew Baena here, and it's time for part 2 of my guitar kit building adventure. If you guys haven't seen part 1 yet, go do that. It's linked on the screen at this point in time. Essentially, I'm building a 7-string guitar from a guitar kit, and last video, I basically just went over the hardware, the specs, and what my game plan was. And this time, I kind of have made actually quite a lot of progress since then. Maybe I could have actually split this into a couple parts, but oh well, here we are. So in the first video, it was just a bare plain wood guitar kit that had nothing done to it. So the first thing I did was I used a all-in-one guitar primer and sealant, which was just matte white. So after I sprayed a few coats of that on, the guitar kit looked something like this. So after the guitar kit was primed and sealed, it was then time to give it over to my fiance Serena, and she painted her own design on it. It's kind of based off of like a sugar skull meets an octopus type thing. And she actually also live streamed the whole painting experience over on her Twitch channel. So for those of you who tuned into her Twitch channel to watch her paint this guitar, thank you guys so much. And if any of you are interested in anything to do with painting or Dungeons and Dragons, go check out Serena's Twitch channel as well. It's going to be linked in the description below. So once she finished painting the guitar, it looked like this. There's also a beautiful time lapse of her painting it on the screen at this point in time. So after Serena finished painting up the guitar, the next step was of course to seal and finish the entire guitar body. And to do that, I just went to a local hardware store and got some off-the-shelf rattle can finishing spray, which is basically just spray paint that finished it in a satin coat. So I only did one coat, which I kind of regret because I've already scratched the painting a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't scratch more than that. I definitely could have afforded to do another coat or two, but I got a little impatient, I must admit. But regardless, it's sealed now and it should be good to go as long as no other tools like a wrench hit it, which is how I scratched it the first time, of course. So that's pretty much how the body side of things finished up. So that was, you know, going from plain wood all the way to a finished guitar body in those 3 or so steps. Next up, what I had to do, of course, was seal the guitar neck, the fretboard, and the headstock as well. And to do that, I used something called Danish oil, and I just simply put some on a rag and just rubbed it on both the headstock, the guitar neck, and the fretboard, and it was just one product that kind of did it all. Just one coat of that as well, pretty easy. So with that being done, both the neck and the body were all sealed up and finished and ready to go. The next step, of course, was to start installing the hardware. So I think the first thing I did was installing the pots on this guitar. So again, I just have a volume pot, a tone pot, and then a 3-way toggle switch. So all 3 of those went on the guitar kit pretty much no problem. Very easy, just drop it in, screw it in place. As I said earlier, I did scratch the finish a little bit because the wrench I was using slipped, which, I don't know, that's just part of the game, I guess. It's kind of expected to happen on your first guitar kit. Next up, I had a bridge by Hipshot, which is just a fixed bridge, fixed 7-string bridge. And this guitar kit was already routed with the screw holes that you can mount that bridge to the guitar body. So that was incredibly easy. Just put it in place and screw it on. Simple as that. I also have some Hipshot open gear locking tuners. Again, just a set of 7 reversed for the reverse headstock. Just drop them in. The tuning peg holes were already pre-sized for this particular set, or really any of Hipshot sets. So just drop them in and then kind of wiggle them around and line them up so they're as straight as humanly possible, and then drill and screw them into place. Very, very easy. The next big thing is, of course, the pickups, which I have mounted in the body, but they're not wired up yet. What I ended up going with is the Seymour Duncan Jupiter for the bridge, which is Wes Houch's, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but it's Wes Houch's signature pickup, so that's in the bridge. And then I have the Seymour Duncan Sentient pickup, which is in the neck. As always, I want to give a big shout out to Seymour Duncan. I'm an endorsed artist of theirs, and as part of our yearly agreement, I ended up getting these pickups for free. So huge thank you to Seymour Duncan. That saved me a ton of money since pickups are probably the most expensive part of the guitar, besides, you know, the actual body and neck, of course. The other part that I was a little unsure of in part 1 of this series was the nut. Luckily, a company called Graphtec does have a pre-slotted 7-string guitar nut. It's slotted for Kiesel guitars, but it dropped in pretty well on this. So it's pre-slotted, so I don't need to figure out, you know, getting the string width on the nut or anything like that. There is a little bit of overhang on both sides of the neck, so it's still gonna need to be filed a little bit, but that's no big deal. That's kind of to be expected with any nut, really, from what I hear at least. I originally had string ferrules, which are the things that go in the back of the guitar, which, you know, they're these little metal circles that you put the strings through basically. So I could only buy a pack of 6, and in the first video, I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to buy like another pack of 6 so that I could just have that one extra one to cover all 7 strings. What I decided to do in the meantime is I just didn't put them in at all, because really the only purpose of string ferrules, from my understanding at least, is to prevent the strings from scratching up the holes eventually from repeatedly changing the strings. But I'm not too worried about that at this point in time, and string ferrules can always be put in later. So I just left them out for now. So there's no ferrules at this point in time. But that's pretty much it as for what I've done to this guitar kit. It looks like this. I've also strung it up with an Ernie Ball regular slinky set, which is just 10 to 52, or no, 10 to 56, I think. So pretty light gauge. It's just for drop A or B standard. Nothing too crazy going on there. Nothing is wired up, as you can see in the back here. It's all just kind of loosely sitting in there, and that's what I was talking about with the no string ferrules. Oh yeah, I also accidentally spray painted the 2 screws, which I didn't think of at the time, but no big deal. I can just get new screws or just leave them. No one else is really going to see that besides me. So that's pretty much it. Really the only thing left to do is to wire it all up, and then of course do the guitar setup, which I have no idea how to do, so I'm probably going to need a guitar tech's help with that. I also still need to install the strap buttons, which would just go, you know, there, and I can't decide if I want to do it on the back or on the horn. I don't know. I'll figure it out as time goes on. But that's pretty much it. So once again, if you guys are interested in getting a guitar kit like this or something similar, go check out Precision Guitar Kits. They're going to be linked in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. Also, if you want to check out Serena's painting channel, go check out her Twitch. It's also linked in the description below and in the pinned comment. And the final thing I want to say, of course, is a big thank you to all my Patreon members whose names are on the screen at this point in time. If you guys are interested in becoming Patreon members, you can get things such as audio downloads and audio stem downloads for all of my videos. I know that doesn't really apply in this situation because this is more of a vlog, but regardless, thought I'd plug it. And you also, of course, get your name on the screen like these people right here. So I want to give a big shout out to them, and I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I look forward, as always, to reading you guys' comments and questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out those links in the description below and in the pinned comment. That's all for now. Next time you see this thing, it should be making some noise, so stay tuned.